Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Wednesday, January 11th, and we've got pretty active weather right on through the weekend. Our system coming up here for later today into Thursday morning could bring some snow, freezing rain, and again, I think some areas could see some winter weather advisories, and I think those will be about 30 miles either side of the line from Saginaw Bay to Muskegon, and then from there north, I think winter weather advisories for either freezing rain or snow may be possible. And again, winds will let up this morning. We'll see some freezing rain develop. It'll start off as rain in many areas and then change to freezing rain and then eventually to some snow with accumulations around an inch of snow across central lower Michigan, maybe up to 3 inches further to the north. And then ice accumulations, I think there's a good chance for at least 1/10 of an inch of ice. And again, this could turn out to be quite a difficult situation for tomorrow morning's commute. And then for the third and final storm before we really begin to warm temperatures up, late this weekend, but more so for early next week, we could see some snow at the beginning of the storm, could even be several inches, but best chance is going to be primarily rain. And again, we could get quite a bit of rain here early next week, so we'll continue to watch that here over the next several days. Our normal high is 27, the normal low is 12. And if we look at the warmest and coolest temperatures across the lower 48 yesterday, 90 degrees at Rio Grande Village in Texas, and the lowest temperature 17 degrees below zero at Lewistown, Montana. And if we look at conditions around the MAC area yesterday, you can see temperatures were mainly in the 40s, lots of precipitation, cold spot 24 at Marlette during the early morning hours, and 48 degrees was the warm spot yesterday, and that was at Blissfield. And if we look at conditions around the area this morning, you see temperatures mainly in the upper 20s to the low 30s. And again, pretty comfortable temperatures. Temperatures will rise in the mid to upper 30s when the rain begins, and then it'll quickly, I think, fall as we get evaporative cooling taking place. And then I think as a cold push of air comes in, we'll see it change over to freezing rain and a mixture of snow across the northern areas. And again, that'll spread to the southeast as we get later in the day on tomorrow. If we look at the radar map this morning, you can see a lot of snow back off to the northwest as cold high pressure moves in, and a low pressure system in Iowa is bringing in that warm moist air up over that into that cold air. And again, as that low pressure system is expected to track southeast across the Ohio Valley and warm air comes up over that front into the cold air pressing south, we should see some of that precipitation develop here for later on today. And again, it'll be in the form of rain changing to freezing rain and then to snow across the area. If we look at the weather map this morning, you can see the low pressure system in Iowa right now with that freezing rain expected to develop. This will be for late in the day into tonight. And then again, as we move the map into motion, you'll see this low pressure system move into Indiana, and that'll help press that colder air farther to the south and freezing rain across southern lower Michigan, snow further to the north. Again, this doesn't look like a very heavy precipitation event, but certainly it could be significant enough to cause perhaps some issues for area schools tomorrow morning. If we look at the weather map again for Friday morning, you see the low pressure system, that cold front's pressed well to the south. The new low pressure system will come out of Oklahoma and move to the northeast, and that could bring a very significant ice storm to portions of Kansas into Missouri and into southern Illinois and the southern Ohio Valley, where they could see 1/4 to 1/2 inch of freezing rain. So very significant there. High pressure system will mainly begin to start drifting to the east-southeast, so we don't expect a big plunge of really cold air. We're going to just get a glancing blow, and then as our upper pattern becomes more zonal west to east, we got a pretty good warm up. And then again, as that cold air, what little bit that will be left behind is in place, again, that could allow this next system that's going to be coming in off the Pacific coast and moving towards the Great Lakes. That could bring us some snow early next week, maybe Sunday night into Monday. In that time period, I think would quickly turn over to some significant rainfall of perhaps an inch or better. And if we look at the precipitation over the next 48 hours, again, you can see this area of concern around the Muskegon area or towards the Saginaw Bay, where precipitation amounts could be around 1/2 to 3/4 inch, as well as down to the south. But I think much of this will be primarily in the form of rain. There will be freezing rain, there will be snow as you get into mid-Michigan, but again, it's a big question as to how much. I think we could see, again, very likely good chance of winter weather advisories across much of the area. And this area that I've circled in red, this is the area that I think will see the biggest threat for icing of perhaps maybe up to even 1/4 of an inch of ice, but certainly 1/10 of an inch of ice. To me, it looks like a pretty good bet. And again, that's either side of a line from Muskegon to Saginaw. We'll have to keep an eye on that. And as far as those of you who want some warmer weather, we got it coming up over the next 6 to 10 and 8 to 14 day outlook. You can see much of the nation is going to be above normal. especially right here in the Great Lakes. So we could see some 40s, and pretty much unless you're in the snow belt area where you've got some deep snow cover, the rest of you are going to lose all your snow, I think, over the next couple of weeks. Now, that doesn't mean we can't get a winter storm that could drop a lot of snow as well in this pattern, but overall, the odds are that we're going to see more in the way of liquid rather than white. And you can see precipitation over the 6 to 10 and 8 to 14 day outlook is going to be rather abundant across much of the U.S. Thanks. And if we look at Weather Watch this morning, you can see the area of winter weather advisories for freezing rain off to our west. It's this area that I think that'll be extended into mid-Michigan here at some point later this morning. I think you'll see the National Weather Service put up a lot of winter weather advisories across a good part of central and northern lower Michigan, and even maybe in the south central lower Michigan as well. And you can see over in Saginaw Bay, they got storm warnings and gale warnings for the northern Great Lakes. Those will be dropping as the storm that moved through here presses off to the northeast. And for the northern portions of the Great Lakes, snow 2 to 4 inches will be the primary threat with that winter weather advisory. And then down across Kansas, Missouri, eventually extended into Illinois and maybe the southern Ohio Valley, you can see about a quarter to half inch of freezing rain, as they could have near ice storm conditions there as well. Thanks for stopping by, and have yourself a great day, and 73s to all.